Impact segment tonight. Still no deal between Iran and the rest of the world over nuclear weapons. Apparently, Iran agreed to expanded access to UN nuclear inspectors, but not to total access. Reports say that America and Great Britain would have taken the partial access, but the French said no, so the deal collapsed. Joining us now from Washington with his assessment, Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters, author of the novel Hell or Richmond. Now, the problem with this story, Colonel, for me, is that I'm getting secondhand reports. I don't really know what happened in the room. And the secondhand reports make America look weak and France look strong. You think that's the case?
Well, I think it not only makes America look weak, but it makes us look foolish. Now, you're right. It's second-hand, third-hand, fourth-hand reports. So what you got to do, Bill, is put the jigsaw puzzle together from European reports, Iranian claims, American claims, Kerry's spin. And when you do that, I think it comes pretty clear. The European Union and the American diplomats were willing to accept a deal, just to have a deal. Iran gave up really nothing, and we would loosen sanctions. Kerry interrupted his Middle East trip, flies to Geneva expecting to get off that plane, do the photo op, sign the deal, and thank God the French, Laurent Fabius, the French foreign minister, obviously with President Hollande behind him, a socialist government, by the way, said no, this is stupid. Iran is not giving up anything, and threw a monkey wrench into the works. Then Kerry tries desperately to go back more time to the Iranians with the French demands. That's when the Iranians say no, 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 and Kerry flies home.
Okay.
But the bottom line is this. You can't give the Iranians a free lunch just because
but let's get very
to talk
specific
to us.
so the folks know that what we're talking about, because nobody's in the dopey meetings in Switzerland. The crux of the matter is that Iran wouldn't provide the UN inspectors, and that makes me nervous that we're depending on them, all of the facilities. They said you can see some of them, but you can't see all of them. So what we're getting told is that the President Obama and Cameron, the British Prime Minister, would have said, okay. It seems to me impossible to believe they would sign off on a deal that wouldn't allow the UN inspectors to look at all the nuclear facilities. That seems impossible to believe, Colonel.
Well, one, I think we can all agree that a serious deal with Iran that had real teeth and stopped their nuclear program would certainly be better than military action. But the Obama administration is desperate for positive headlines after the debacle of Obamacare. And frankly, you want the facts about what Iran was not going to do? They were basically going to let us look in the shop windows, not enter the store, and certainly not look in the stockroom. We couldn't go into the Ferdo complex, the Parchin military complex.
I know.
Couldn't see the any of the deep underground bunkers, the new rumored facility northeast of Tehran. We were going to look at some old centrifuges.
But Colonel,
and the thing is, you got to be able to get into every last bunker,
you have
or
to
it doesn't work.
But here's my question. This is why I'm suspect of the reporting. If President Obama and Cameron had signed such a deal, the whole world would have laughed at him. You would have been leading the factor. I would have been outraged in the talking points memo. Everybody would have said, what the hell are you doing? This is insane. Israel would have been blow that thing up. There's no way they could have gotten away with that, Colonel. Which shows me that I don't know if this is true.
Well, I can't explain Cameron's behavior. That surprises me. Catherine Ashton's an old-school liberal, the EU chief negotiator. President Obama needs a headline. Kerry wants an instant legacy to show us he's the greatest Secretary of State in history. And frankly, nobody in this administration cares about Israel at all. Now, Bill, I don't approve of everything Israel does, but Prime Minister Netanyahu is 100% right that this was a really bad deal, solved nothing, gave the Iranians time, and my bottom line is this. The Obama administration doesn't care about Israel. Obama comes out of that left-wing South Side Chicago milieu in which the 6 million Israelis are the imperialist aggressors, and somehow 450 million Arabs and Persians are freedom fighters and innocent parties. I just don't think Obama, even after 5 years, understands how to play international hardball,
you might be
which is
right.
amazing because he knows how to play domestic hardball.
But I'm a little suspect of this story because the president, even if he isn't sympathetic to Israel, knows he has to know how he would have been clubbed. It would have made Syria look like Candyland if they had signed this deal.
Bill,
Colonel,
I think he thought he would have a piece of paper in his hand guaranteeing peace in our time.
all right, Colonel. Thanks very much. Direct